Welcome back to Nerdrotic. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and I am live in San Francisco. And thankfully, we are talking about the Orville Season 2, Episode 12, Sanctuary, another Moclan episode. And at first, I was like, oh, God, not another one. But it turns out that Seth MacFarlane, and I'm not sure entirely if he wrote this episode, but he's involved with the writing of every episode, I assume, has done a great job mixing in a little, well, I wouldn't say agenda, I would say a morality tale, mixing in a morality tale into that's with current subject matter done well. Yes, these things can be done well when you have a talented writer and mixing it into subject matter in the story and taking it to an extreme level, but it still works. It was such a good episode, and man, we've had some so episodes in season 2, nothing terrible by any stretch of the imagination. I'd say the lowest rating I've had for any episode was probably the first one, and it was like a 7.5 out of 10. But the last few episodes, amidst all these huge breaks that I don't understand at all with this show, but that's probably Fox and it has nothing to do with Seth MacFarlane, has the last few episodes have been great. They have been great. So we deal with the Moclans again, and with the current year politics that are going on. There's a lot of female politics going on, we'll just say, and that's been heavy subject matter here on my channel. But I would like to state again that tonight's episode was something done the correct way, or not the correct way, in a way that entertained me, right, without annoying me or feeling I felt like I was being preached at. There was a couple of cringy lines, but that was it. And it's, there's probably like 4 episodes now that have spawned, I would call it the About a Girl. I don't know, you can't call it a trilogy. But there's a whole, if you remember back in the old days when with Star Trek, they would release a box set of like the Borg Collective, and they'd give you all the Borg episodes. We can definitely get a Orville box set of the Moclan Chronicles. How's that? The Moclan Chronicles, which starts with About a Girl, and it deals with the all-male Moclan society. And, the genius of having the all-male society, you can really study a lot of things about society, again, without being too preachy. I think if they did one more beyond this, it might be pushing it, but this felt like a nice little bow on the Moclan Chronicles. So we start out with a couple of Moclan engineers are being transported again, and Captain Mercer tells the Admiral that he feels like a bit of a taxi service. But in the background, they're preparing for the Kalons. So we still have the Krill. It seems like so long ago because it was 3 weeks ago. We have the tenuous Krill ceasefire. I wouldn't call it an alliance; it's a ceasefire. And the Moclans are the military civilization that's within the Union. They make all the weapons, so they've amped up all the weapons, and they need to take a couple of engineers to another ship. And it turns out early on that these engineers are smuggling something on. At first, I thought the episode was going to kind of turn to where are we going to start having problems with the Moclans now? Or are these going to be like Moclan terrorists? But then I kind of figured out pretty quick what was in their case. When they looked at it with they smuggled on a case, they got it past Teala, and at first when they opened it up, if it was going to be a weapon, they would have gone, but instead they looked at the thing with kindness, so you could tell that there was a kid in there. So it turns out a couple of Moclans were smuggling their female or their daughter off of Moclan to go to a sanctuary. They found another ship that can take them there. Now, Kelly or Mercer, somebody on the Orville, figures out that there's an energy drain coming from their quarters, and Bortus goes to check it out, and that's where he finds out it is indeed a Moclan girl. Prior to that, Bortus's son gets into a bit of a scrap in school and pushes a girl down who had a piece for his game. And he says, well, women are inferior. It doesn't matter what she wants. She had the piece I needed. She was a woman. I'm a man. I'm superior. And that is what Clytus has been teaching their son. And Bortus and Clytus, I can't even believe they're still together at this point. Because they have grown apart. And, Clytus is very traditional with Moclan and Bortus is not. Bortus originally wanted to keep their son a daughter, and he still has that resentment. So that's going on. He's pissed at him for that. So he goes in and finds out that there is this Moclan girl being smuggled off planet, and the two parents don't want to live as outcasts. They want to live free, and they have this place to go. So they asked Bortus to kind of keep quiet about it, not tell Ed Mercer about it. So we can go. All you have to do is be quiet for a few hours, and then you can tell them what happened. So they end up transferring the ship and taking off. Now, Bortus thought it would be a good idea to take his kid to go meet this girl to kind of teach him a lesson that, men and women are equal in any society, and trying to teach him the proper way. So he thought it'd be a good idea to meet this couple and meet the daughter and kind of show him, hey, there is female Moclans. So, and they're not that different from us. And he does, but he tells the kid to keep secret, but of course he doesn't. He tells Clyden, and I'm getting the names wrong already. God damn it. It's been so long since I've seen the Orville. So of course he rats Bortus out to Mercer, and, Mercer and Kelly have a pretty good case for this. They're like, how do you know they weren't just kidnapping the kid? Now we got to go track them down and follow them. They end up following them, and they find a planet in this giant nebula, and it's a star system, and it turns out it's a sanctuary where all the female Moclans go. And they find out that there are a lot more female Moclans than we originally knew about, and the government is keeping it secret. It's like it was supposed to be one in a couple generations, and it turns out it's just a lot more than that. There's 6,000 female Moclans on this planet. I'm forgetting her name, but they meet the woman who was the revolutionary in About a Girl, and she has an underground network going on, transferring female Moclans out. And now that they have been found out, they were going to bug out on the planet. But Ed Mercer comes up with a better plan, or at least he thinks he does. He's going to ask the Union to officially recognize them as a sovereign star system, and that will give them protection. But it turns out the Moclans aren't having it, and they have this whole debate, and they pretty much hold their weapons over the head of the Union with the coming Kaelon War. And honestly, I don't know why the Moclans would be stopping the Kaelons at the Kaelon at this point. They seem pretty powerful. I think they're going to attack anyway, but it's good to have the Moclans on your side. So the Moclans aren't having this. They want all of the females returned to the Moclan homeworld. And, I love how they looked at both sides, even though it's ridiculous. They kind of looked at it as child trafficking too. And even though to us, their values look crazy, we still have to respect them. So they would basically force all the women to, they would have corrective surgery, turning them into men, and then probably throwing them in prison for the rest of their lives. And they were going to renounce their membership in the Union if the Union recognized the sanctuary planet. And we have a stalemate going on. And so the Orville is staying over the planet. A Moclan ship arrives. Kelly is in command right now, while Ed is back at Union Central while they're in this debate. And we got to see a bunch of aliens. This was such a Star Trek episode. So we got to see the Union Council, and we saw all the different aliens, and it was cool. There was some good makeup there. There was some good starship porn on this one. Now, while the effects are not as good I don't want to say they're not as good as Star Trek Discovery. They don't have the budget Star Trek Discovery has, but I enjoy the effects more in the Orville than I do in Star Trek Discovery because I can see what's going on with the ship. And they had a bunch. They had some, ship flying around. There was some ship-to-ship battle with the Moclans, and you could actually see it. And the scenes they were flying through the nebula were so cool. And then, of course, there's Dolly Parton and 9 to 5. And the song was used to perfection in this. And when Ed is taking, God dang, why am I forgetting her name? It starts with an A. Give me a second here. Sorry, this is bad for live streaming, but I should have had this ready. Still got a little jet lag, folks. I just got back. So I am going to get her name so I don't call her the revolutionary because I have no other idea what to call her, but talk amongst yourselves for a moment. This is terrible. What do we only have one more episode left of the Orville, or do we have two? We have two. So then the final two episodes are tomorrow. Oh, cool. We're gonna get like a time travel or time distortion episode. Cool. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. I was wondering if we were gonna get like a time travel mirror universe Orville. That'd be cool to have a mirror universe Orville. And the road not taken. Oh, wow. I don't know if you guys want to hear oh, wow. They're going to get into Ed and Kelly's relationship in the next couple of episodes. That'll be interesting. What the hell was her name now? You guys are probably saying it in the chat already, and I'm going to see if I can find it here. And if I can't, then that's all she wrote. There it is. Havana. Is it Havana? Yes, it's Havana. Okay. So Havana and Ed take a trip back to the Union Central where they're going to have this big debate. And she's going through the archives, and she was just talking about, God, it'd be so great to actually do some art and to be free, and Ed's all, yeah, there's some, cool female artists from my planet. You can check them out. And she pulls up Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, and she uses this as her revolutionary speech, which was brilliant. And I love that song, by the way. And I remember that movie. I remember my mom taking me to that movie. And she loved it. Coffee for recovery. Thank you for the Australian $5. I'm good. I just, you know what? I should have been a little more prepared, but it's so late and I'm packing for Star Wars Celebration. But I am going to be doing a shorter, quick review video as well, like I do with Star Trek. That'll come out sometime this weekend if you don't want to sit through the whole live stream. So she uses Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, and Ed's like, don't you want to look at, no, this is it. This is the song. And she includes it in her speech to the Union, which is brilliant. And we also had F. Murray Abraham, okay, Star Trek Insurrection, if you remember, which is, it's a movie, I didn't hate that movie. It was like a really good episode. So, and we also had Deanna Troi in this as well. And she played the school teacher. And it wasn't this one. It's a Marina. I can never say her last name. Sirtis. Wasn't this one directed by Jonathan Frakes? That's right. This one was directed by Jonathan Frakes as well. And wow, his directing is so much better on the Orville. I wonder if it has anything to do with the aesthetic, and probably an aesthetic he's way more familiar with, and one that still works, I will add. So we have the debate. That we hear both sides of the argument. They are actually, the Moclan argument is pretty hard, but I thought they did a pretty good job kind of spinning it as child trafficking, even though they are mutilating the children and everything. We can't judge their society. Their society evolved differently. Apparently, the Moclan society evolved into mostly male because it was such a harsh environment. That's the only thing we've heard so far. I'm sure we'll delve into it more. And we've learned plenty about the Moclans. I'm looking forward to hearing about some other alien races as time goes on. But it's, in the first couple seasons, I think it's important that they're going to play a big factor in this. I can definitely see them becoming the villain at some point. And maybe, and maybe an alliance with the Krill like they had talked about, even though that wouldn't do much good for the Kaelon, as Ed mentions. in the debate. So they have the debate. The Moclans are going to back out of the Union if they officially recognize the sanctuary planet. And they're kind of stuck because they need the weapons with the coming Kalon invasion that can happen any minute. And we don't know if, it's like I said before, it is a ceasefire with the Krill. It is not they are not at peace yet. They don't have a peace treaty. And what ends up happening is there's a little skirmish on the sanctuary planet while they are debating it out. The Moclan ship decides to go to the surface of the planet, which they really weren't supposed to do, and start rounding up the women and taking them back to Moclus so they can have their corrective surgery. Kelly is not ordered by Ed to go down to the planet and work on her tan. So her and Bortus go alone and they have a little shootout. I'm assuming all the guns were set to stun. Or there's a lot of dead people, right, and dead Moclans right now. And there's a pretty good battle. Kelly kicks a lot of ass. Bortus kicks a lot of ass. And the battle stops because we have an agreement. And they come to an agreement that this is why the Orville works. It doesn't have these super happy endings, but it doesn't create unnecessary tension like Star Trek Discovery. If this episode was Star Trek Discovery, when Ed and Kelly originally went to the sanctuary planet, they would have been all taken prisoner and somebody would have been eaten or something like that. But no, instead with the Orville, when they went down to the sanctuary planet, they're taken in. They're like, yeah, we got to bug out. They don't say that, oh, we got to kill everybody on the ship to hide our secret. That's what Star Trek Discovery would have done. They decide to bug out instead. So there's that little skirmish and they come to an agreement, and it's that the Union will not officially recognize the sanctuary, but the sanctuary can remain, but they can no longer traffic children off of Moclus. They have to, it's just whoever's there is safe, but they can't bring any more kids there. And it's one step in the right direction, but the sanctuary planet is not officially recognized by the Union. Moclus capitulates to that. I don't know how happily and how long this will last, but it buys them a little time, and it had a pretty good ending. And we got a space battle and a battle on the planet 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton, which amazingly worked. It worked. So a really good episode. One that, listen, the Orville doesn't get, super deep into these subjects. They delve into it like a 90s Star Trek show would. They get about as deep, and it works in every way. And the reason I think the Orville is such a good show for right now in this hyper politicized time, even when it does get a little, I wouldn't call this political. I would call it more of a morality tale. I don't think anybody's pining for an all male society at all. And anybody thinks that women can't do stuff as well as guys. Yeah, women can do stuff now. Great line from Ron Burgundy. So yeah, I thought it was really well done. I liked it a lot, and I like the season. And if they made Orville Blu-rays, I would buy them, but they don't, unfortunately. And they need to renew this show. They're really waiting till the last minute to tell us. I don't know what's going on. I think they're going to renew it because they've started licensing products. They're going to make a comic book. They're going to make some toys. Why would you do that with the show that's going to get canceled? And if Fox is dumb enough to cancel, I think, look at it this way. If The Expanse got picked up, the Orville will get picked up. So the Orville is the Star Trek we need. Let's get to the chat here. Enough of my babbling. First, we got a super chat from Kilroy was here, $2. Joe Minoski wrote it, the man who wrote Darmok, and he did a great job. Great job. Thank you. Yeah, that's right. Joe Minoski, and definite. The Orville writers are clearly Star Trek writers. It's obvious. And it's clear that Star Trek Discovery doesn't want to hire any of these people because they don't want Star Trek to be like Star Trek. But that's okay because we have the Orville. I'm okay with this now. I have accepted this. And if Star Trek died today with Discovery, I would be okay with the Orville. He also did executive produce the Vulcan Hello, though, but he only co-produced it, so we won't hold that against him. What's up, Strider Man? How's it going? What's up, CB Spock? Kilroy was here, SP4NQD. That's probably supposed to spell something that I'm missing completely. The Orville handles these agendas well. It does. And it's done. The reason it's done well is because it doesn't create this stupid straw man that Star Trek Discovery likes to create situations to emasculate men. They create dumb situations to emasculate men. This show just presents an idea, tries to execute it, and doesn't do it by singling anybody out. Unless you're truly a person who wants women, physically disfigured, and which I don't think any people exist like that not in our chat anyway. What's up, JP? How's it going? Steve M. I am a trans woman. I find Star Trek Discovery fans to be beyond obnoxious when they pretend that Discovery has meaningful LGBTQ representation. Steve, exactly. It's perfunctory. I can't talk anymore. Man, I need to go back to sleep. Perfunctory at best. And it's fine to show that nobody has a problem with that in the show if they're going to, if it needs to matter. Otherwise, it's just there to virtue signal. And that's all Star Trek Discovery is. And that's all the Orville isn't. The Orville is a diverse show. It has women in charge all the time, and you don't hear anybody complaining about the Orville. If there's any complaints about the Orville, the only ones I've ever heard are people who are just not into Seth MacFarlane. Fine. But as I wrote in the description, this frat boy writer writes circles around everybody else on television right now. This side of the Expanse writers. Just have a smoke and hooker Bortus, and like Bortus with that cigarette with the stogie hanging out of his mouth is my second favorite image from the Orville, next to Isaac and his tidy whities sitting on the couch, asking why the doctor hadn't made him dinner yet. Oh my God, really, Steve M? I don't get super political, Steve M, but damn, that's horrible. That is horrible. Trina Guthridge, or they carry the female gene. The Orville spinoff is the Wilbur. That was pretty funny. Peter Davison, coffee for recovery. Australian $5 again. Thank you very much. The Mirror Universe Orville should be dark, edgy, with lots of lens flares and Dutch angles, basically mocking Star Trek Discovery. I was thinking the same thing, Nihilist Shadow. That would be so great. Premiere episode of season 3. What do you name the episode? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the, fairest of them all, or who's got the best lens flares of them all? I would so do that. Now, there's a the Black Mirror episode, the USS Callister, the one that I liked, and then I thought about it and I hated it afterwards because it's really dissing old Star Trek fans. If you look at the underlying themes, it was a well done, well presented episode, but at the end, it basically, well, I'm sure a lot of you picked it up, but it's about a guy who creates a virtual reality game, and it's the old Star Trek, and he traps a girl into it, and when the girl takes over the game, or the girl's copy, it turns into JJ Trek, and that's supposed to be the new modern stuff. And I'm like, and it was basically a big middle finger to old Star Trek fans. The world-class bullshitters are on a drunken stupor. That is good. I hope they pace themselves before I get there. But funny thing is, I was watching the Orville. My DVR recording on Sling was from Chicago, where I'm going, and the weather is not good right now. Flights are getting canceled, and I hope I make it in tomorrow. And I'm not a good flyer, so yeah. Nerdo, thanks for reminding me. Orville just came on here, and mahalo. Surf Trek Tonics. Are you in Hawaii? Mahalo. Aloha. Ted Danson. Yeah, we had all the admirals. It was great. It was great. Still loving the Orville. Another entertaining episode. That is right, Jerry. I am too. What's up, Gamer Gambit? I'm back. Sarid, how do you pronounce her last name? Is it Sirtis? Sirtis has tremendous tatas. Yeah, she's a pretty lady. Star Trek's 50th anniversary. We're way past that, and boy, did they screw that up bad. What do you think of Kelly and Bortus being an action team again, like the astrology episode? I liked it. I think they make a good action team. I do. I like them. Yeah, because honestly, who else? Why do they always leave Isaac behind? Why do they always like Isaac could take everybody out? And they left Tyali behind too. What's up, Yosef? How you doing? Bortus should get a divorce. I think that is going to happen. What do you? Well, they probably wouldn't. Do you think they would have Bortus fall for a female? Kelly did kick ass, and it wasn't in this lame, overdone. For one, she played Wonder Woman. She was in the Ally McBeal guy's version of Wonder Woman. Did anybody ever see that pilot? I actually didn't hate it as much as everybody else did. I mean, it wasn't good or anything, but Adriana Palicki, who is the future Mrs. Scott Grimes, well done, Scott. Well done, mate. Yeah, she looks like she can kick ass. She played Mockingbird, and a good version of Mockingbird that, not my feminist agenda, Mockingbird from the comics. And yeah, she played Wonder Woman, and she wasn't that bad. I mean, the show was, but she wasn't bad as Wonder Woman. They don't trust Isaac yet. And that's another thing I kind of feel like they should acknowledge a little bit. I think we just had Identity Part 1 and 2. Isaac is given up on his homeworld, and it's just like, Isaac, what are the coordinates of that supernova? That's all we've got. So we need a little more of that. I think Bortus is going to knife Clyden this time. Oh, and the difference is instead of making women better, they make men their equals. Brandy and Kevin, yes. Instead of, degrading one to make another one better, we just treat everybody as equals. Wow, what a concept. Scott Grimes gives hope to geeks and nerds everywhere. MD Metal, he does. He does. And did you all catch his appearance in The Next Generation, which somebody showed me? Was it you, Nihilus Shadow, who showed me a couple weeks ago? That a little skinny Scott Grimes talking to Wesley. Shut up, Wesley. Talking to Wesley in like the worst getup I've ever seen on The Next Generation. I can't believe I forgot that one, but I did. Brandy and Kevin make video games. That's cool. That's cool. I make videos. Equal, that's sexist. I know, right? As a kid. Yes, as a kid. Here, I'll try to find that picture. Hang on. It's pretty funny. Grimes on TNG. Oh, I can't do the sound, but here we go. We'll share this in case anybody missed it. Oh, look, and you see JP there look at JP from Egotastic Fun Time right there. Oh, look who's on the top right there. And I'm live with 222 people watching. Wow, that's a lot. That's good for this late. Yeah, there's Scott Grimes. That's a nice get up. I want to get that for Christmas. A little spandex going on right there. What the hell is he wearing? And they had like a little holodeck accident. Oh, there's a better shot of it. Look at that. Oh my God. That's hilarious. Good old Scott Grimes. All right, let's get back to the chat. Oh, wow. I still have to pack for tomorrow. Jeez. So I'm going to try to get, I got to record another video. I got to do the short version of tonight's review, which will be very short. I know. Look at that hair, right? Marina is 64 years old over, and she is still beautiful. Hell yeah, Dave Bob. She does not look 64. That's brilliant. 70s fashion, the 2370s. I know, it was just that was a weird decade, the 2370s. Was it never shown on TNG? Is that why I don't remember it? More faves? Was that like a deleted scene? I wasn't even paying attention to the clip. I'm like, God, why did I not remember that at all? Well, that might explain it. The Orville episode reminds of the mother who has been trying to raise her baby son as a girl, planning his sex change when older. Very disturbing. That is disturbing. And the kid should be taken away. That is a decision the kid should make, period. That is not something a parent should make before a kid's old enough. Greetings from, hello from Vietnam. What's up, William Winters? Hello. Hope you're having a wonderful time in Vietnam. Wow. The world has changed when you can say that out loud. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Gamer Gambit, $5. The Orville episode. Oh, I already read that, but thank you, Gamer Gambit. No, I remember it. It's an episode, says Brandy and Kevin. Okay, yeah, I do. I have no memory of it at all. Will Wheaton is a big hair member, Magnum size. Shut up, Wesley. Shut up, Will. Is he still complaining about PewDiePie? I was passing out listening to you until my daughter slapped me in the face. Hey. Well, maybe you had it coming. I'm sorry. That was a bad joke. Marina was born in 1955, so she is 14 years older than me. Good morning, Vietnam. Wife got a visa and is coming home next Wednesday. Brilliant. Congratulations. Get home. Get her to America. There was a time parents were happy to have a daughter or a son. I know. Isn't it weird? Have you watched the new Twilight Zone series? Thomas Potts. I seen the first one and I didn't like it. I haven't seen the second one yet because I'm going to see that when I'm done flying. For obvious reasons. Plus, I don't know if I'm in a hurry to see it. Twilight Zone was sacred ground to me, and I don't know. Greetings from the Soul System. Goldfinger. That's an Expanse reference right there, because we're all in the Soul System. STD is poop. It certainly is. From the weird game that never told us how to play. Call it STO. So she's 57. Well, no, she's 14. She's 53 or 63, 64. Yeah, it was deleted, and somebody says no, it was in the show. Maybe it was deleted from some, and you saw it in. It depends on where they presented it or where they showed it. Because I watched a version of Austin Powers on the plane. Yes, day before yesterday that had scenes I had never seen in it. So it was the airplane cut of Austin Powers. Where they had all the people mourning all the henchmen that were killed. Will you do a Game of Thrones review this Sunday? Yes, I will be doing it with Doomcock. We will be live right after the episode airs. I haven't decided. I might come home early and do it here or just do it from the hotel room. Either way, it's happening. And is on the Nerdrotic schedule. Mandela effect. I feel like I've gone through the Mandela effect like multiple times, but I've also dropped a hell of a lot of acid in my lifetime. So yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to cut this one short because I'm sorry I can't get to everybody's chat, but the Orville is great. It was truly a wonderful episode. I will be doing a shorter review for people who don't want to sit through these live streams, as I said before, but you will be seeing a lot of me this weekend. I'll be doing lots of stories. I'll be doing a lot of live streams that probably won't remain on the channel, and I'll be doing stuff at Nerdrotic Live. I will be at Star Wars Celebration starting tomorrow. We're going to have the big meetup with the world-class bullshitters and Jeremy and Josiah and Jesse from Mindless Entertainment and Anna, that Star Wars girl, and and Ethan Van Sciver and some other people I'm forgetting about, I'm sure. Hail Doomcock for sure. Yeah, so he will be on this channel Sunday night at what it airs at 7. This will be at 7 o'clock my time, right? Or 6 my time. So 7:15, 7:30 we'll be going live. So yeah, sorry this one's short, folks, but I do need to get going. Everybody go to nerdrotic.com for the live stream schedule. Of course, I have a video coming out in the morning, and hopefully I have 2. Hopefully I have time to cut one, and I will see you all from Chicago. Everybody have a great night, and may the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Ciao.